that we're going to be making. It's from Feels Like Home, a website off the internet, and it's called the World's Best Pecan Pie. So we're going to give it a shot. We're going to try it out. We have several things, because I know it's not Weight Watcher friendly. Pecan pie never is. But we're going to make do with what we got and figure out the points later and feel guilty about it later. So we got the deep dish pie crust. We just need one of those. It's very important to remember to get the name brand, not the off brand, because if you get the off brand, it's higher in points. Then you have your 3 eggs. We're going to use light corn syrup. The direction calls for 3/4 cup. So that's what we're going to use, plus 2 tablespoons. But the 2 tablespoons, I'm not going to use corn syrup. Instead, I'm going to use maple syrup. It'll have that nice flavor in it. Trust me. You'll really like it. Then we're going to have a little bit of salt inside of it. We're going to use just light brown sugar. Do not use Splenda. That's what it tells us on the directions. Do not use Splenda. So, I believe the directions. Then you have the Land O'Lakes light butter, where you're going to use 3 tablespoons of this. And last but not least are pecans. These were from a friend, and we cracked them, and it took forever, but we did it. And this is 2 cups worth. So let's get started. The first thing it tells us to do is mess with the pie crust, such as press to get into a pie plate and proofing it. Well, it's one of those ready to make pie crust, so I don't have to worry about that. So I just pulled it out, put the other one back in the freezer, and I'm just going to set this aside so I can get started on making the insides of the pecan pie. The first thing we want to do is blend the 3 eggs, so we'll do that right now before we add any other ingredient. Now that the eggs have been beaten, we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. So it's going to be the corn syrup, that 3/4 cup. Going in there. It's using a lot of calories. Okay. Then we're going to add the maple syrup, 2 tablespoons of that. Then it's going to be the melted butter. 3 tablespoons, and then it's going to be the brown sugar. And before we mix it, one last ingredient, the salt. It's just a pinch. Okay? So all that's left is the pecans. So we're just going to mix it together, and after that it's ready to go in the pie and into the oven. Okay, we're just going to pour it in there. So for this pie, it's supposed to be cut into 8 slices, and for one of those 8 slices, it's supposed to be 16 points. Yikes. But if you split those 8 slices again in half, then it's 8 points. But it's your choice on how many points you want to use. I think I'm going to go with the 8 point. So we're going to stick it in the oven, 350 degrees for 1 hour. And this is what it looks like out of the oven. Doesn't it look pretty? I bet it tastes good too. So it's hot, obviously, but you can tell it's done just by if you just lightly press on it. and it has that firmness to it, it's ready. So we're just gonna let it cool, and we will taste test it later.
Wow. That's good.
Just the nuttiness of the pecans. Yeah.
Wow. It's so good. You don't have to count the points. There's no other way around this goodness.